Okay, hi all, this is my next video. I wanted to talk about what I'm doing in Atlanta, Georgia. Right now, I'm starting a production company. I already have one, and it's called SJB Productions here in Atlanta. But luckily for me, I'm networking with other actors, directors, writers, producers, and such. And we've started a small little company called TPW. And we're always looking for talent. It is going to be something that you could be proud of. We're going to come together. We're going to form a company. We're going to donate or ask for donations and sponsors so we can get cameras and mics. We're also inviting all student filmmakers or potential student filmmakers to join so we can support you, and at the same time you can support us. Of course, some jobs are paid, a lot are not. But again, we're hoping to build a company that we can be proud of. At the same time, this is what we're currently working on. And it's called racial profiling here in Atlanta, Georgia, or here in Georgia. And this show will represent those who have been arrested, or those who are convicted, or those who have been convicted because of the color of their skin, or due to the fact that because of reasonable doubt, or that they were convicted because hearsay, or because someone thought they were the right person, or people that have spent 10 years, 15 years, 20 years in jail for a crime that they didn't commit. I can't even fathom that. But there are people now that are waiting for their chance for DNA testing that proves that they're not this person. There's a show on YouTube for the Innocent Project that we're hoping to talk to others and get their point of view and invite them to come to our studio and discuss what has happened to them, how this has affected them, what's gone wrong, how could people do this, how we that old saying, we all look alike. It's not true. We don't. And yet these poor people have spent the majority of their lives behind bars. We spend more money paying back, not we, but if you want to look at it in a tax point of view, it is we. But we have spent more money paying back the innocent than we have capturing the truly guilty. And this saddens me. It makes me angry. So my show, and one of my shows actually, is dedicated to those who have been incarcerated or convicted, or those who are in the process of being incarcerated or convicted, and giving them a chance to tell us what has happened. What has happened? Why were they incarcerated? Why were they convicted? Why did the system truly believe that they were guilty of a crime that they were, convicted of? Or why beyond a reasonable doubt, which is the name of the show, and it's copyrighted for those who are contemplating doing something on their own. Why would they even begun to do something like this? And we want to hear from you. We want to hear from anyone, everywhere and anywhere, that have had their own run-ins with the law, and that they have experienced something as heinous as this. We want to find out how we can stop this. We want to know what we can do to prevent someone else from having the same problems. And I guess you all wondering why, I feel so strongly about this. Well, I feel this way simply because I'm always worried when I'm going to apply for a job. I'm an actress and I'm a host of these shows. But again, at the same time, when you have to go to a police station, or you have to go somewhere and you have to give your fingerprint, you get concerned. And I get concerned more than others because I don't have a twin at all, by the way. But I have a young lady whose name is the same as mine, whose age is the same as mine, and whose birthday, if I'm not mistaken, is very similar to mine. I was born in Louisiana, but she was born, if I'm not mistaken, in Oklahoma City. And our fingerprints are so much alike that I've been mistaken for her. And it angers me, it saddens me, and it pisses me off in all sorts of ways, because each time that I've gone for a fingerprint, I was told, we need to call the police or we need to call the FBI. And I'm like, for what? And they're like, because you're wanted by the FBI. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not wanted at all. And they go, well, it says. And then they'll pull up, the photograph will come up. And then they go, oh, it's not you, is it? And I go, no, but you would have called the police, wouldn't you? If the photograph wouldn't have came, you'd have called the police. Do I look like a criminal? But then, what does a criminal really look like? What does a murderer really look like? I mean, they look like everyday people. So how do you how do you not be offended because somebody's only doing what they think is right or what they think is best? And yet it just scares me. It scares me if a police officer pulls me over and he punches in your name. I worry. I'm like, oh my God, how far is it going to go? Is it going to go all the way to Oklahoma City? I've had police officers, I've had detectives, I've had other people say it shouldn't even be possible that two different women, they're born in two different places, different parents, have literally the same fingerprints. It's not possible. Truly, it's not. But yet, here it is. And it scares me to death to know that she and I are very similar down to the fingerprints. It scares me to death. And yet, I can't do anything about it. And what else saddens me is simply the fact that when I asked to see a picture of her, so I'll know, give me her information, so when I do apply for, my jobs or my acting jobs or whatever, or they do want my fingerprints, I have something that says, hey, this isn't me. And what they told me, they said, we have to protect her right to privacy. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? You have to protect a criminal's right to privacy, and yet you're about to arrest me on the spot because you thought I was her. And they go, the law's not perfect, but we have to protect her right. She didn't say that we could give you her information, so therefore we can't. How many people have to deal with this? How many people have been arrested because their name is similar, or because they thought this was this person, or they looked like the person, or they were wearing the same clothes the person was? I mean, if you look at the gentleman that was shot 41 times just because the police were bored, so they say, and they were looking for a drug dealer, and he was going in his apartment and he shot 41 times. And of course, as we know, the policeman got away with it. Same thing with the van of young black youths. They were speeding, and the officer wanted to say that they were resisting, and they were shot over 20-something times. The gentleman that was coming out of his own bachelor party was shot and killed unnecessarily because the police got the wrong place and the wrong people. I mean, what do you say? Oops, sorry. And yet these people are not held accountable. None of these people are held accountable. And we need to make them accountable for what they do. You can't bring back somebody's life, but you should pay for it. We even would like to discuss more about the gentleman at the New Year's Eve ball who was upset with how they were being treated, and how the other guys, I think, were let go, and how they were sitting on a cold wall waiting to be arrested, and they weren't the ones that started the fight. And a police officer pulled out his gun and shot him in the back in front of thousands of people. However, I didn't see police abuse. Some people say that he just pulled out the wrong weapon and shot it without paying attention, and maybe that's true, maybe that's not. I mean, we'll never know. We don't know what was in his head. I just know that me and TPW would like to hear from you. Especially if you're in Atlanta, Georgia, and we would like to hear your story. We would like to air your story, and we would like to find out how, beyond reasonable doubt, you were able to prove your innocence, or if you haven't, how we can help you get your story out. So please contact me. I would love to hear everything and know all, and we will go from there. Thank you, and talk to you soon.